Welcome to this month's CCI video update, exploring the variety of work that schools and school districts across Indiana are doing through the Comprehensive Counseling Initiative, or CCI, from Lilly Endowment. I'm Matt Fleck, and today our guest is Fred Ross, who was Director of Federal Programs at Switzerland County School Corporation. Fred retired this summer, good for him, and David Todd is the current grant writer and testing coordinator for the corporation. But because Fred had been through the majority of the grant, we thought we would talk to him. So welcome, Fred. Thanks for being with us.
Nice to be here. Thank
you. So I'm glad you're talking with us about the grant, because you were with it with the corporation, I think right at the very beginning and almost to the end of it. I think the comprehensive counseling model that the district chose was the ASCA national model. Can you tell us how that's going in the implementation?
Yes, that is correct, and it's going really well. Our counselors have been doing very well, trying to adhere to all the guidelines that we established in the grant. We've had two counselors in this position, and they've both got a copy of the grant itself, the original grant, so that they know what's expected of them, and things are going really well with that.
Great, good. I know one of your goals was to improve students' social and emotional well-being, and part of your grant was to pay for the salary of an additional elementary counselor. How did that change things for you in the corporation?
Well, obviously, when we started this, we definitely wanted a counselor at the elementary level, because we thought that by meeting their needs early, that maybe we wouldn't have so much problems later in their life. So our focus was to get an elementary counselor, and things were going well. We were sharing a counselor with two elementary schools, and she was quite busy, with trying to keep up with both buildings. And so we had hoped all along that we would be able to hire an additional counselor, one for each of our elementary, and we were able to finally do that this year. And so far, things have been, from what I understand, things have been going really well.
Wonderful. It just helps to have extra hands. And I agree with you, being more proactive in the early grade levels with an elementary counselor. You have two elementaries, and now you have two elementary counselors, one at each building. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
That makes a huge amount of difference. So,
yes.
You may not realize it right away, but over the years, as those students get older, I think even the junior and high school and the high school will recognize the changes that happen.
Yeah. Then that's certainly what we're hoping for. There'll be less disciplinary issues at the middle school and the high school, because the kids will be better prepared, knowing how to handle certain situations.
You are in a small rural area in southeast Indiana. Is it Vivi? Is that the town that's close by? Did I say it right?
That's correct. That
is
correct. Yes.
I remember hearing that years ago. So was it a struggle getting a counselor, and has it been a struggle getting community partners?
Yes, both. It was a struggle of both. We're about an hour away from two major cities. So, there's just not a lot to offer here, to be honest with you. It's just mostly farmland and stuff like that. There's not a lot of employment here. We do have a casino in our county that does employ a lot. It's probably right now our biggest employer in the county, but we really don't have much to offer as far as jobs for spouses and things like that. So it was very difficult to try to find a counselor. We had posted the position after we got in the grant, and we had started the school year without a counselor. We didn't have anybody apply for the position, so we ended up contracting the services out with another agency, and we got a very qualified young lady to come in, and she worked for us for 2 years. Things were going well, but unfortunately, the start of the third year, we weren't able to afford the contract services anymore. They were losing money, had to increase the cost. And so we weren't able to do that. So we had to post the position again. And fortunately, we did receive a very qualified applicant. She accepted the job, and she started with us last year. She's done a wonderful job, and so that was a struggle in itself. And as far as community partners, we without much industry here, we just don't have a lot of resources to go to help us, in this particular need in social emotional learning. So, but we did, our partner was our community mental health. They were a huge help to us. In fact, prior to receiving the Lilly grant, they even had 2 employees, one in each of our elementary schools, but unfortunately they couldn't see everybody because they had to charge, and only those that had Medicaid were able to get any services, because they did bill Medicaid for those services. So
one thing I wanted to highlight from this last year and for the duration of the grant, I know you were able to reduce your student to counselor ratio because you hired another counselor, but you were able in the corporation to decrease non-student activities. I think I've got my statistics here, from 38% the baseline to 28% on average. I mean, that's still about a third of a counselor's time spending with non-counseling tasks, but that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We really didn't notice that until we applied for the grant, and we actually took a look at that with our counselors, and we saw how much time they actually were spending outside of counseling, doing other things like monitoring, lunch and things like that. So, I mean, over the past 3 years, we've really made a focus on trying to free them up more so that they have more time counseling and less time doing other activities that aren't related to counseling. So
good for you, because a lot of administrations aren't able to do that or don't recognize that importance of that. So credit to the whole corporation for noticing and doing something about it.
Yeah, thank you. So,
one thing I also noted in your grant is that you said that school communication with the community, between parents, with teachers and counselors, has improved dramatically since the beginning of the grant. Has there been something specific you've done to accomplish that?
Yeah, well, I guess we have to give credit to our counselors, because they have really reached out to the parents and really had involved them in all the process, with dealing with their particular child and things like that. And so they have done a wonderful job reaching out to the parents and getting them involved. So
we commend you on all the work you're doing there in Switzerland County. It's great. We have a lot of schools that are in bigger communities and in central and northern Indiana. So it's kind of nice to be able to talk to some school districts in the southern part of the state, especially in rural areas. And you have unique challenges from bigger school corporations. And it sounds like you're overcoming those and making a difference for students. So Fred, thank you for being with us. Good luck in your retirement.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So nice to be here.
And thanks to all of our viewers on this monthly CCI video update.